What's up, motherfuckers? This is Trancy Drum Tracking Album 2. Thought I'd give you a little talk through the old setup. We had a good little chat when we first started setting this up, and like our music has kind of specific requirements that normal metal kind of doesn't. There's a lot of moving parts. The kick sounds always change per song, per part. And there's a lot of synths and bullshit that we've got to cut through. So we decided that a hybrid setup was kind of the best for what we wanted it to sound like. So we've got kick pad. It's all running through the E-Kit Roland Brain thing. 3 tom pads. And then I will MIDI them out and use them in the mix. Real snare. And then Boz's Rec cymbals. Endorsed by Rec. Go check them out. They make sick shit and it's very affordable. And so we did a shit ton of shooting out and playing around, and this is kind of what we liked in the end. So we've got 57 on the snare top as usual. We've got this Peavey, I don't know if you can see that, kick mic. I think it's a VTM or something, TM. Yeah, I just tried everything out and the kick mic kind of sounded the best, so whatever. 57 on the snare side, which is kind of just giving us a bit of snap in the mix. We've got cheapo ISK pencil condenser from Swamp for the hi-hats. Just tried out everything I had and it worked. I've kind of decided that spot mics don't really matter, just use whatever, because it's just a little bit of definition. It's not like it's doing too much. Overheads, we've got the Line Audio CM4s, little pencil condensers. I don't know, I was just recommended these by a couple of people I know and they sounded fucking great, so that's what we're doing. They're kind of just aimed over the crashes to give us a good stereo image of the whole kit. This is technically probably, so this is the Warm Audio WA14 condenser mic. It's probably technically a mono overhead, but it was meant to be a room mic, but having it up that high was the only kind of reasonable sounding spot we could find. As soon as we got a bit lower, it just turned to shit and the cymbals sounded like arse. I reckon it's probably because of the high ceilings and sound kind of gathers up there, and I don't know, might be the way it travels against the concrete floors too, who knows, but that's what sounded good. Ride, I just wanted a little bit more bell sound, so I've got the Rode pod mic in under, pointed right at the bell. That was just what I had left. Again, spot mics, who cares? You'll EQ them and kind of blend them in and fucking whatever. They sound like cymbals. China, we had a bit of a struggle. I had a bunch of different shit I tried. And the only thing that seemed to fucking work was this SonarWorks. So it's like the reference mic. It's just made for measuring your room. And that came with SonarWorks room correction. And fucking after trying everything, I was like, oh, I'll fucking try this thing. I've only ever used it once to measure my room, and then it's just sat in the cupboard. And I know it's real balanced and flat sounding, I guess, so it was the only thing where I could get a good China sound without it sounding trashy and arse. And yeah, that's basically us. All that runs into the control center down there, and then we go for gold. I've started mixing the first song, and I actually really like this whole hybrid thing. It eliminates a lot of the issues that you have with real drums, and for our kind of music, like the tom sounds change every song, the kick sounds change every song, so it really didn't make much sense to record the real things when I knew I'd be replacing them and fucking with them, and then I wouldn't want them in the room mics. Room mics, that's what I've forgotten actually. So yeah, that's the main kit setup. The only other thing we've got over here is we've got a stereo set of rooms. Is the SEVR2, which is a ribbon mic. One here. And one here. Struggled to get a replacement that we liked, and we eventually figured out that facing them away from the kit was where you got the most snare and least cymbals, which was kind of what I wanted, because yeah, so too much cymbals in your room mics can be a bit gross, because you want to just smash them to death and you don't want to have a fizzy mess on your hands. So this is the butthole, and that's our modest drum tracking setup. I guess the only thing I'd say, like I said, it's very modest. It all just goes into a interface with ADAT preamp expansion on it. Nothing fancy, no outboard gear, no nothing. No crazy expensive mics. Like, there's some pretty good ones there, but they're not stupid. If you're good with your placement and you fucking spend your time and your drummer can actually play, which is a massive part of it, and Brian can, you can get a decent sound, something definitely workable at home, without having to get some fuckwit with all the gear and no idea to do it for you. So use your ears and fucking just go for it. Stop worrying about what you have and just use what you have to your advantage. That's my fucking TED Talk. See you, cunts.